Okay, this is our crew. So we are going to start today in child's pose. So make your way to your mat. Bring your knees as far apart as feels good for you. You can reach your hands all the way forward or down by your sides. Down by your sides just leaves a little bit more space for the neck. And if you want to bring your forehead all the way down and then just rock your head a few times from side to side. Feel your breath expanding between your knees. Take one more breath here. And then start to come all the way up until you're sitting on your heels. And we'll just make a few big neck rolls to start. So just rolling your head really slowly, holding any spots that need a little bit more time and space to release. Switch directions if you haven't already. And then start to bring the head back into center. From here, we're going to bring the chin up towards the ceiling and try to tuck your bottom teeth under your top. So you're jutting your bottom jaw out. That creates much more of a stretch in the neck. And then start to bring the head back into center. Tuck the chin, so give yourself as many chins as you can. Push your head towards the back wall. And then release, come back to a neutral spine. Let's bring both hands to the side of the head, and then just pull up gently, as if you're creating your own space in your spine. And release, bring your arms back down. Let's roll the shoulders up, back, and down a few times. And then push your palms out forward. The fingertips will go down towards the mat like you're Spider-Man. And then round out the back, push it towards the back wall. From here, you can come back to more of a neutral spine. We'll take the right hand, bring it to the left, so you're just helping stretch out that wrist. Fingertips are still down on the left hand. And then switch, point the fingertips to the ceiling, pull back. Just enough that you feel a little bit of a stretch. Switch hands, so the right fingertips go down, left hand is helping out. And then fingertips go up, pull gently. Release, roll your wrists around in a couple of circles. And then we're going to bring the backs of the hands down to the mat, lean back just enough that you start to feel a big stretch in your forearms. If you feel like this is an uncomfortable position, sitting on your feet as well, you can always shift forward whenever you feel like your feet are going a bit numb and tap the tops of your feet onto your mat. But if you feel okay, then we're here in this position, the backs of your hands are down, stretching out through the forearms. Take 2 more breaths. And come back out, roll out the wrists. Rock forward, come into your tabletop position, so hands under shoulders, knees under hips, pick up the ankles and just roll the ankles a few times. And then start to come up into neutral, move through cat-cow. So on your inhale, let the belly drop, chin comes up, and exhale, round out the spine, push it towards the ceiling. 2 more times. Start to come back into neutral. We're just going to push the hips over to one side, push the ribs over to one side, Look back behind you on the other. We'll alternate side to side with the ribs. Let's go one more time each way. And let's walk the hands over to the right. So you can stay up like this, or you can bring your hips all the way down like we've done before, where you're stretching out through the left side in your child's pose. Or you can stay up here, so you're still stretching out through that left side, or you can move through some cat-cows while you're over here with the hands on the right. So it just depends what kind of experience you want with it. If you want to keep moving or if you want to come to stillness. Take one more breath. And then wherever you are, we'll come back up, walk the hands through center and all the way over to the left. So you're pulling through those finger pads on the right hand, getting a stretch through the right lat, and then sitting the hips back down into your child's pose, or moving through your cat-cow on the side. One more breath. And then we'll start to make our way back up. Walk your hands back into center. We're back in our tabletop position. From here, we're just going to tuck the toes under. Round out through the back just a little bit. So you're like puffing up through the shoulders just subtly. Lift the knees off the mat just 1 inch. Hold here. Feel the core start to turn on. Take a breath. And then when you feel ready, start to lift the hips up all the way into your downward dog. Keep a really big bend at the knee. And then you can start to pedal out the feet, straighten the legs. Slowly and gently as your hamstrings start to wake up a little bit and your calves. Once you're able to find stillness, take a big breath. And then start to tiptoe the feet to the top of the mat, fold all the way forward. Inhale, start to roll the spine up to stand on your inhale, and take a big exhale when you get to the top. Inhale, bring the arms up overhead, look up. And on your breath out, fold forward. Hands come to the shins, come up halfway, nice and slow. And then bring the hands to the mat. Take the right foot all the way back behind you. Bring the knee down and untuck the toes. And from here, we're going to leave the right hand down. Inhale the left arm up overhead. Big, gentle twist. Bring the left hand back down. Now, this is going to be an interesting twist on the other side. You can do this one where you bring the right hand just behind the ear and just open up as much as you can with the right elbow. And then try to curl all the way and bring the right elbow down to the mat. But one more time like this. And then bring the right hand back down. We're going to heel toe the left foot to the outer edge. Let the left knee come open. So this is lizard. We can stay up here on our hands. There's lots of options from this pose. So you can stay on your hands. You can come down to your elbows. You can stay up on your right hand and bring the left hand to your left knee and use that to come into a deeper twist and open the chest. Or if you're feeling really flexy, you can bend the back knee, reach the left hand back for the right foot and pull it towards you so you get a quad stretch in as well. But this is a lot on the left hip. Wherever you end up, we'll take 3 more breaths. And then start to release. Bring both hands back to the inside of that foot, or prop yourself back up on your hands if you were on your elbows. We're going to bring the left hand just to the outside, so we're turning the body a little bit so we're over top of this left leg, and then we're just going to rock back and forth. Getting a little deeper into the right hip and the left hamstring with some movement. And then next time you rock forward, just heel toe the foot closer into center, bring the hands back down, pick up the back knee, so we're back in a lunge, and then take the left foot beside the right, hold your plank. Bring the knees down, come all the way down onto the elbows. So we're in a modified plank in this position. Hold here, take a couple breaths. Start to steer really hard, really fast. And then when you're ready, just lower all the way down to your stomach. Bring the hands just slightly out in front. On your next breath in, roll the shoulders up, back and down for Cobra. And on the exhale, release down to the mat. Come up one more time, inhale into Cobra. And release, come back down. Prop yourself up onto your elbows. We're gonna just roll over to the right side of our bodies. So you're propped up on your elbow, you're over onto your right hip, and then you can bring your elbow a little bit farther out until your head can rest down on your arm, or you can hold your head in your hand. Bend the knees, so we're kind of in this sideways tabletop position. And from here, you want to try and have the upper body relaxed and heavy into the mat. This is going to be our anchor point. And you're just going to flex the left foot, lift the left leg all the way up. So it's kind of like a clamshell, but you're also raising the foot instead of leaving the foot down and just picking up the knee. You're picking up the whole leg. Just keep going up and down. And reach the left hand and just see how the left hip flexor is doing. See if that's the part of your body that's firing up, or if you can feel it more in your glute. You might need to adjust how much your knees are bent, or how you're lifting your leg, or just focus your attention in a different area. But we want to feel this more in the glutes than in the left hip. Go one more time. And then we're going to start alternating. So the next time you come up, tap the left knee down onto the right and back up. And then we'll go heels tap. Back up. We're just alternating like this. Following your own speed. Feel the burn. Okay. Tapping your heels. Let's go one more time each way. So tapping knees, back up, tap the heels, back up, and then just rest, bring it back down, straighten out the legs. Roll back over onto the stomach. Let's take the left arm all the way out to the side. We're going to tent the right fingertips and stretch out through the left pec. So we're going to roll over onto the left side now. Your head can come back down. Your right foot can act as a kickstand somewhere around here. But essentially, you're just rolling over as much as you need to feel some sensation in front of the left pec into the chest. Opening up through the collarbone and the shoulders. Correcting some posture a little bit. And release. Start to roll back into center. Bring the hands back under the shoulders. We're going to push up through our tabletop and head back into our downward facing dog. Pedal at the feet. Take a breath. And then start to walk to the top of the mat. Fold forward when you get there. Roll the spine up to stand on your next inhale. Exhale at the top. Inhale, reach up, look up, and dive forward on the exhale. Come up halfway, and then bring the hands down. Take the left foot all the way back behind you, bring the knee down, untuck the toes. From here, leave the left arm down. Inhale the right arm all the way up. And then start to make your way back This time we're going to bring left hand just behind the left ear. Try to open up to the left side. And then dip back, try to bring the elbow to your mat. One more time. Inhale, come up. And exhale, try to bring the elbow down. Release the left hand. Heel toe the right foot to the outer edge. And let the knee open to the side. Same thing here as the other side. Up on your hands. Down on your elbows. Leaving the left hand down. And bringing the right hand to the right knee. Or bending the left knee. Pulling the foot towards you. Whatever you did on the other side, or not every side has to be the same, so whatever feels better for you on this side. Two more breaths. And then start to release, bring the hands back. Bring the right hand to the other side, so we're facing the right foot, and then rock back and forth. One more time. The next time you rock forward, start to heel toe the right foot back into center. Bring the hands down, pick up the back foot, so you're in this lunge position, and then take the right foot beside the left, hold your plank. Bring the knees down, come down to the elbows, down to our modified plank. Try to tuck the tailbone under. So we're doing a posterior pelvic tilt, which means that you feel like you're kind of zipping your core in. Might start to shake a little bit. Take one more breath. And then lower down all the way. This time we can keep our upper body down, start to bend the knees, and bring the heels together. So on your next inhale, just pick up the knees as much as you can, bring your feet closer to the ceiling, and come back down. You're going to do 4 more like that, holding at the top for as long as you want, but just feeling the glutes turn on each time you do. Two more. And then bring the legs back down, give them a shake, take a breath. We're gonna roll over to the left side, bring yourself up onto your elbows, and then just roll over onto the left hip. So same thing here, you're going to come all the way down so that your head can rest on your arm, or you can hold your head in your left hand. Bend the knees into our side tabletop. And when you're ready, just start lifting up the right leg. Flex the right foot. After a while, start to notice if you're getting the sensation in your glutes or if it's heading into your hip. Try to adjust your body so that you feel it just a little bit more in your glutes than anything else. And that might mean rolling a little bit more onto your side, using your right hand to tent your fingertips for some stability. The next time you bring the right leg up, we'll start to alternate. So bring right knee to left knee, back up, and then right heel to left heel. Start alternating like this, back and forth. Feel that right glute really working. Let's do 2 more. Still going at your own speed, whatever feels good. Still trying to keep that zipper feeling in the belly as well. Last one. Okay, next time you come up, just bring everything back down, straighten out the legs, take a breath. Roll back onto your stomach. This time we're going to take the right hand out to the side, tent the left fingertips. Roll over onto the right side so we can open up through the chest. One more breath. And then start to roll back into center. Bring the hands just under your forehead or one cheek to your mat. Take a deep breath here. Okay, so we've got a couple of different options here for our next back bend. So you can come up onto your fingertips. You can come up into your Cobra or into this extended version of Cobra where you're stretching out a little bit more through the abdomen. Or we can combine the two movements that we did before where you're bending your knees and you're reaching back with your hands. We're going to move into bow. So you're kicking up with the heels, the feet towards the ceiling, but your hands are now moving your chest up because they are on your ankles. So whatever feels best, some sort of back bend, and it can be your gentle Cobra. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. I love Cobra. Or if you want something deeper, come into your bow pose. One more breath. And then start to release. Bring everything back down. Bring your other cheek down or your forehead. Take a breath. Come back up onto your elbows. So this is called Sphinx Pose. We're just now going to try and bring the left knee up as high as you can towards your left elbow. Start to flex the left foot so the right leg is still all the way long back behind you. And this is going to be really subtle, but keeping the left knee down and heavy, you're going to try and just pick up the left foot just a little. It'll be like a 2-inch movement, but you're just working on some external rotation in the left hip. So let's do 5 more. It's not a motion that we do often, so it might feel really weird and unnatural and hard. Last one. Bring the left foot back down, take a breath, and then start to straighten the left leg back behind you. Bring the right knee all the way up, close as you can to the right elbow. Flex the right foot. And same thing here on this side. We're going to do 8 reps. So just pick up the right foot, put it back down. Gentle, subtle movement. Maybe this doesn't feel hard at all. I know for some people that's the case. It feels pretty hard for me after 8 reps, but 3 more. And then bring the right foot back down, take a breath. Extend the leg back behind you. Start to bring your hands under your shoulders, lift up through your tabletop. Make your way back into your downward dog. Take a big breath here. And then we're going to bring the feet just a little bit closer together. Take the right foot all the way up behind you. Bend the knee, open up the hip to the side wall. Try to keep equal pressure in your hands. Make a few big circles with the knee. Maybe 1 time in each direction. And then send the right foot all the way forward. Step it between your hands at the top of your mat. And lift the left foot all the way up into the air. So you're coming into a standing split. And you can stay here, or if you want to work on some balance, hover your fingertips and then bring them all the way up. Come into Warrior 3 or your airplane pose. Start to bring the left knee, tuck it in closer to your body, and then make your way up. Bring the hands together, tuck it into the chest, or you can grab onto the shin, pull the leg in towards you. A little bit more balance. And then this left leg you can bring down to your shin or up into the thigh, just avoiding the knee as we come into our tree pose. So wherever your hands need to be for tree to make you feel balanced and stable, take 2 breaths here. Bring your breath back to a calm state. And then bring the knee back up into the chest. Send that left foot all the way back behind you. And then turn on the back heel. So you're coming into your warrior 2. So the heel of the front foot is in line with the arch of the back foot, looking over the fingertips of the right hand. Hold here, feel your shoulders plugging into your back. And then on your next breath, bring your elbow down to your knee, inhale the left arm up. You can stay here if that feels good, or you can start to straighten this front leg, bring the hand to the shin for triangle. Start to lift all the way up and through your warrior 2, come into Exalted Warrior. So the right hand comes overhead, left hand comes down the left leg. Stretch out through the right side of the body. And then come back into your warrior 2, start to straighten the front leg. Point the right toes in the same direction as the left, so we're facing wide on our mat. You can heel toe the feet in a little bit closer together if you want. Interlace the hands behind you, pull down, open up through the chest. And then start to hinge at the hips, keep a little bend in the knee, and let gravity take your hands all the way back and down in this wide-legged forward fold. Start to release the hands, bring them to your hips, hinge all the way back up. Adjust your feet so you can point your right toes forward again, sink back into your warrior 2. And then cartwheel the hands down, come back up onto the left toes. Take the right toes back so you're in plank. And then just lift the hips all the way up into your downward dog. If you really want to go through a vinyasa here, you can. We're going to be in downward dog for 3 breaths, or you can go through knees down in Cobra, or your chaturanga push-up into upward facing dog, and back into our downward facing dog if you want to do your vinyasas between sides. When you're ready, start to bring the feet closer together, pick up the left foot, take it into the air behind you. Bend the knee, open up the hip to the side. Make a big circle with the knee, 1 time in either direction so you can get any cracks out. And then take that left foot forward, place it between your hands at the top of the mat. Pick up off the back foot, come into your standing splits. So you're being supported by your fingertips. And if and when you're ready and you want to, lift up into your warrior 3, your airplane pose. Try to keep the hips square to the mat. Start to tuck the right knee in so you can lift up with the knee coming into the chest, and you can squeeze it in if you want to. And then we'll bring the right foot to the shin or upper thigh, come into your tree. Bring your focus back to your breath. One more. And then bring the knee back up into the chest, send the right foot all the way back behind you. Pivot on the back heel. So we are in our warrior 2 on this side. Looking over the left fingertips. Hold here, 1 more breath. And then you can start to bring elbow to knee, right arm goes up overhead. And you can stay here, or you can straighten the front leg. Bring your hand to your shin for triangle instead. Start to lift up, use your core through Warrior 2 into Exalted Warrior. Stretching up through the left side. And then come back into your Warrior 2, straighten the front leg. Point the left toes the same direction as the right. Heel toe the feet a little closer together. I'm going to face this way so you can see me a little bit better. We are essentially here with our toes out at a 45. Just going to bring the hands to the knees, sink down into this supported squat position. So you can stay here if that feels like it's creating some space in your spine, or you can add a twist. So on your inhale, bring the left shoulder down, look over the right, exhale back into center. And just alternate like that, side to side a few times, using your hands on your knees as some leverage in your twisting. One more time each way. Back into center, straighten the legs, give them a shake. And then step the feet out wide again, point the left toes forward, sink back into your Warrior 2. Start to cartwheel the hands back down to frame the left foot, come up onto the right toes, and step back into plank. Go through your vinyasa here if you want, or just send the hips all the way back up into your downward dog. We'll all be meeting there. Find your stillness here, take 2 breaths. And then bring the knees down, sit the hips back into child's pose. Bring the forehead all the way down, melt into your mat. From here in your child's pose, just cross your ankles and sit the hips all the way back until you land in a comfortable seat on your mat. From this position, we're going to come into our shoelace legs or our cow face legs. So let's bring the left leg underneath, right leg on top. Any amount, this is going to do a really big stretch in the right hip. So this can be what it is for today, or you can lean forward or back, whatever it feels like. You can create some more space. And just take a breath here. Start to come back up to a neutral spine. Tent the right fingertips behind you. Bring the left hand to the right knee and twist towards the right. Deepening your twist on your exhales. Focusing on a nice straight long spine on your inhales. And release. Start to come back into center. You can leave the right fingertips tented behind you. Tent the left ones now as well. You're going to lean back into your hands and then just prop the left foot up onto the mat. So we're already in this figure 4 position because the right ankle was already crossed over the left knee. So you can stay up like this on your hands, or if you want to loop your hands through and grab onto the shin, you can roll all the way down and back. So we're in our figure 4, lying down on our mat. If you're lying down, the floor kind of creates that straight spine already for you, but you can focus a little bit more on rolling the shoulders underneath, and that'll give you a little bit more of a pull. Bringing the legs a little closer. And you might not even be reaching for your shin at first. You might be reaching for the left hamstring to start. The only thing you want to try and avoid is bringing the right hand to the right knee and forcing it out. You don't want to force the body anywhere that it doesn't naturally want to go. Take 3 more breaths. And then start to untangle your legs. I'm going to assume that you opted for the lying down version. If not, you can head down to your back. But we're going to untangle the legs, pull the knees into the chest, and then take the arms out into a T or a cactus shape. Bring the knees all the way down and to the left. Big spinal twist. If you want to make it a little bit more intense, you can take your head over to the right, so your nose is pointing towards your right hand. One more breath. And then start to roll back into center, bring the knees into the chest, squeeze them in. And then bring your hands under your knees. We're going to roll up and down a few times on the spine. Get a little spinal massage. It's also fun. One more time. And then roll back up to your feet line just in front of you. We're going to take the left leg out long. The right foot comes to the inside of the leg. Bring the left hand to the inside of the left leg now, or up onto the shin if you prefer. And we're going to inhale the right arm up and over, stretch out through the side. Make your way back up into center. We're going to leave the right leg where it is and come into our shoelace legs on the other side. So the left leg crosses up over top, leaning forward or back, or staying with a straight spine. That's also an option. And just breathe here. Start to come back up into neutral. Tent the left fingertips behind you. Right hand comes to left knee and we'll twist towards the left. Start to make your way back into neutral. Bring the right hand back beside your left, just behind you. And then lean back, prop the right foot up. So you're in figure 4 here. And then you can stand up if you want to, or head down to your back, grab onto the right shin or hamstring and pull the legs towards you. Focus on rolling your shoulders all the way back so they're flat on the mat. Start to untangle the legs. If you're not on your back, head towards your back, squeeze the knees in. Take your arms out into the T or the cactus shape and bring the knees all the way down and to the right. Coming into our twist on the other side. Deep breaths. Sending your breath anywhere that you feel tension. Release, twist. One more breath here. And then you can start to roll back into center. Squeeze the knees in. Bring the hands under the knees. Roll up and down the spine. And then come all the way up. Take the right leg out to the side. Left foot is on the inside. Right hand comes to the ground or to the shin. Inhale the left arm up and over. Start to come back up into center. This time we're going to take the left foot out as well. So we're in this wide-legged position, which this is getting into our adductors, not a place that we typically stretch. So this is a big stretch, even just sitting like this for a lot of people. So bring your hands as far forward as you can or as you want. Just lean forward just a little bit. If you want to make this a little bit more intense for the hips, you can flex your feet and then just point your toes back and forth. Start to come back up to a neutral spine. We're going to bend the knees. You can bring either leg forward. We're going to go back and forth a few times in our 90-90. So my left leg's forward right now. Right leg is back. You lead this motion with the back knee. So your hands can be up in heart center or back behind you for some support. You're going to lead with the back knee. Just going back and forth with the knees so it gets into the hips. Loosens them up, especially if you've been sitting all day. And it kind of shuffles you forward as you do this. So you might end up off of your mat. Let's go one more time each way. And then come back into center, cross the ankles. Take a deep breath. And for our final position, you can come into your Shavasana or you can head into legs up the wall. We're going to be here for a few minutes. So choose a place that feels comfortable. You can put on your socks, your sweater, get comfy. And I think I'm going to go legs up the wall because it's my favorite. Let's say 3 minutes we're going to be here. So I'll call you back momentarily. If there's any other poses you feel like your body needs before we come to our resting pose in this practice, please do that now. Please listen to your body, do what your body's asking for. Okay, if you are ready to finish up your practice, you can start bringing some movement back into your body. If you want to stay in your Shavasana with your legs at the wall, by all means, stay there for as long as you like if it's feeling really good for you right now. If you're ready to close your practice, let's take a big breath together. Big inhale. And exhale out the mouth. Namaste. Thanks for practicing with me today. And hope to see you back here again next week. Have a really great night.